I am so focused on my career and business and growing and evolving, but does it mean that much if I'm doing it by myself? I find myself asking those type of questions a lot more lately.
Hey everybody, this is T again with another reaction video. And today we're going to be doing a reaction on RABIA. I think that's how you say the name. Sisterhood is all fun until we're old and alone. But she's talking about relationship. Very, very beautiful woman. But you can tell she's either in her early 30s, middle 30s, maybe something like that. Either way, very beautiful woman. I can do without the extra extensions in the hair though. I think hair down to her shoulders would have been nice. Other than that, you don't need all that, but to each his own. Maybe some people like that. Either case, now she's talking about relationships, and I'm assuming she's going to be talking about black relationships, because usually when I see a lot of black people online talking about relationships, they usually refer to the black culture, but I'm hoping she's talking about just overall women. But who knows? But either way it goes, we're gonna do a review. Now, I did watch a little bit of the beginning and I found it very fascinating, which the things she's saying. And this is like not normal to be coming out of black women mouths, especially in these day and age when black women these days want to be boss babes and independent and all the other things. The stuff they learn from Beyonce and all those other crazy places they get these ideas from, feminism and all that. But either case, she sounds very different than many other black women talking, and maybe it's experience that make her talk like this, because I'm sure when she was younger, I don't know this woman and I'm not trying to bash her or anything, I just want to be clear on that, but I'm sure when she was younger that she might have been having fun and taking advantages of her beauty, which most people do. If they're attractive, they're young, they can go out there and have fun, right? But unfortunately for women, they have a shelf life, so they really have to make good decisions when it comes down to getting married and having children, especially if that's something that they want long term. So I think she's made mistakes, and I think she's coming on YouTube to talk about those mistakes, and I'm really fascinated to hear what she has to say. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this reaction. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share this video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with new videos. Okay, all right, let's get started.
So I recently celebrated my birthday and I turned 36. Now I know a lot of people have a hard time, especially women, admitting their age, but I've never had that problem. Because I always say, if you don't get older, that means that you're dead. So let's be grateful that we turned.
I kind of like that saying, man. I might use that. I'm gonna steal that from you now. Don't get mad about that.
Older. But with getting older, I am thinking about my future a lot more. And I am slightly worried because I am living a completely different life than I thought I would when I was younger.
No, let me say something here. Very beautiful woman. I mean, at some point in her life, she could have been a model, in my opinion. Okay, she's that beautiful. She's right up there, man, with the eights. Okay, very beautiful woman. But you know how that old saying goes, youth is wasted on the young? There's a reason for that saying, because a lot of the time you think you're going to live forever, and that your beauty and that your strength and whatever the advantages that you have as being young is going to last forever, and it doesn't. It does not. And unfortunately for women, like I said at the beginning, they have a shelf life when it comes down to their beauty, and their beauty is their most important asset, not as being humans, okay? Human beings. Women being intelligent, they being talented, all these things are important as human beings. I'm talking about the dating market here, okay? This is the advantage women have over men. I just did a short on Bad Baby, And on OnlyFans, the woman made $57 million. She taking full advantages of her looks. Okay. I don't think she all that, in my opinion, but I'm not saying she's unattractive. I'm just saying she's not all that. Not enough to pay that kind of money to her. Okay. And I think OnlyFans is a waste of money regardless. So not unless you plan on getting something out of it, but most of these men aren't getting anything. So it's just a waste of money. But either case, some women are taking full advantages of their beauty. Either they get married at an early age or they out there just making money. I mean, either case, sometimes when a woman, mishandles her beauty, her advantages, she can end up probably in a place like this where she's about to explain, which is unfortunate because you would think a woman like this would have a husband and children and probably a great life. Most attractive women do, but unfortunately she made mistakes. And I'm kind of curious what kind of mistakes she's made to be in these positions.
I thought that I would be married in my mid-20s, that I would have a caring husband, that we would have a couple of children, and we'd live happily ever after. But that's not my current reality. I am 36. I am single. I am not even dating. I don't have any children. I have 2 cats. And that is something that in my culture is not very common.
Okay, I wonder what culture she's talking about because I don't know exactly her nationality is. Is she just an American black woman or is she from Kenya or some African country? I have no clue. So far she haven't mentioned that. But I'm assuming she probably, her family probably originated probably from another country. This is just a guess, just by the way she looks. She really got these exotic looks that doesn't seem American, at least in my opinion. I might be wrong on that. I'm just saying. But there's a lot of black women who they have kids, but they like baby mamas, or they single and successful, but they don't have husbands or children. So that's kind of becoming common in the United States, but I'm not exactly sure what she means. I'm just assuming she's talking about the culture she comes from. So it is what it is. But it is a shame that such a beautiful woman like this is in this position. And I'm very curious to see what she has to say about that, how she got into this position.
But it is my current reality. And I do wonder what my future will look like. Like, I am going to my 40s. Okay, in 4 years, but still.
I want to say Kevin Samuels said women gonna have cats and die alone. That was one of his famous sayings right there, right? And she probably, if she talked to Kevin Samuels, if he was still alive in her earlier years, things might have been different. She might have looked at things in a different way because people telling her how beautiful she is, and they probably gave her everything she wants, kissing her tail and all this kind of stuff. She just felt like she can do this long term. But now that is a saying, I heard a saying that Red Pill like to say. I think it was Fresh and Fit maybe. When women go to the bar and no man buy them a drink, that's when they hitting the wall basically, right? So these guys aren't doing the stuff she wants. They probably want to hit it and quit it, but they probably don't want to marry her. But she's 36 years old, so it's not possible for her to have children. But it's going to be possibly a difficult childbirth, if any, or if might just fail altogether. Who knows, right? But it's a risky time in her life where usually they say you hit the wall around 30, right? I'm assuming that's the case. And she's hit the wall now. Like I say, she's still beautiful. And if you want to hit it and quit it, man, that's definitely an option. But I don't know if you want to put a ring on it. Because the first thing you're going to ask yourself is, why is such a beautiful woman like this, well-spoken, kept that? Like I said, I don't care for the long extensions because I think those are extensions, man. I don't think they're real. I think she should just keep it up to the shoulder. I think she'd be much more attractive with that. But either case, why this woman don't have a man? Is she crazy? Because that's the first thing you're going to think. Something wrong with this chick, right? Why is she? I mean, you might ask the same thing about a man, but men can pretty much get away with it, especially once they stop becoming successful. Then women don't care. Like, you could be 40, and if you're making millions of dollars, she don't give a crap. You know what I'm saying? Why you, man? Now, if you don't got hardly any money and you still single, yeah, they'll look at you weird. But when you got a lot of money, they don't care. Like, look at Leonardo DiCaprio right now. I'm sure a lot of women think he's crazy, but because he's rich and famous, they still gonna mess with him regardless. Either way. And when you're a woman, I don't care what your job is. I don't care what you do in your personal life. If you 36 and you have no husband or never been married and have no children, then they can kind of like, something ain't right with this particular situation. But let's carry on.
I have friends who are single and don't have any children. I have some friends that have children, but not a partner. And I have a few friends that have children and a partner. I don't want to be in an elderly home with my girlfriends having fun. That's not how.
That's sad, man. All her friends, they probably ran in the same circles and said the same stuff. We don't need no man. We independent women, and now they're all in the same situation. Now let's be straight about this particular situation, okay? She could get a man if she wants, because she is attractive, and she don't seem like she crazy, so she can get a man. But the problem is, can she get the man she want? And that's usually what holds them back, because they can't get the man they want. So they rather just be single. They say it out of their mouth. When they doing these street interviews, they be like, when they ask the question, if you can't get the man you want, do you want to get married? They be like, no, I'd rather not get married. I'd rather be single by myself if I can't get the man that I want. And maybe that's the attitude she have. But when you hit that age, things start to change. And that's for everybody that gets older. You know, you start looking at life in a different way. And I think it's more profound when it comes to women, though, because they got more to lose. A man can have babies up until, a healthy man, that is. He can have babies up to 60 years old, maybe 70, maybe for the rest of his life, possibly. But a woman, she got a shelf life when it comes down to having children, okay? She can't just, be in her 50s. I mean, I think there's a star right now, an actress, who just got pregnant in her 50s or something like right there. But she's a rare case. It ain't that many people. I mean, it's always possible, but I would not suggest a woman wait that long to have a child, okay? She's already coming close to the end of her baby having years, okay? So she might want to get on that real fast. But like I say, she probably hung with these girls. They probably thought they beauty would last forever. They never, ever gonna be unattractive or whatever. But, God made things in a very curious way. And let me explain. When I was getting older, right, I didn't feel like I was changing, as far as looks go. I mean, maybe you gonna have aches and pains here and there, right? But you don't feel like you changing. Not right away, right? But other people start to notice that you're getting older. But you don't notice it, because every time you look in the mirror, you probably feel like you look the same. And I'm sure she probably was going through the same thing. But she was going out, having a good time, meeting men and partying, all the kind of stuff. She probably didn't feel like she was changing, but she was. And then people start to notice it, okay? But you are pretty much the last person to know. And then when you do find out, at this point, it's kind of too late now. And it's kind of tricky, because you grow old gradually. So you don't really notice it happening, right? Until you know, okay? And that's probably what happened to her. She finally found out, damn, I can't command the kind of men that I used to. Why didn't I just marry that man who wanted to marry me and I decided not to? I don't know if that's the situation, but I'm sure she probably got some offers and she turned it down. Because come on, you can't imagine. Look at her now. She's 36 and still beautiful. I can't imagine what she looked like when she was in her 20s, man. I'm sure she got offers. I'm sure guys fell in love with her, wanted to be with her, and yet now she's not even dating. I mean, that tells a lot right there.
How I imagine my future to look like when I am old. Now, a lot of girls might disagree and say that that is the life that they want, having fun with their girlfriends, but I don't believe that is true. I believe that a lot of people would want to have a loving, caring, healthy relationship.
I completely agree with her. All the women that be singing about independence, they married. They be hunting down men, boy. And even when the men act up, they don't divorce them. Like Cardi B, Offset be acting up all the time, man. She's still with them. What, Bad Baby? She just posted stuff about being harmed, you know, black eyes and all this other stuff. And guess what? She back with that dude again. Was it Levon? That's his name. She back with him. You know, they telling you all this, I'm independent, I'm making all this money and stuff like that. But none of that means anything if they don't got somebody to love and to love them back. It means nothing. You know what I mean? And that's a sad part. Men can, like I say, if a man rich, they can be like Leonardo DiCaprio, man. They jump from bed to bed. I'm not saying he's happy or really fulfilled, but he can get along. He can survive without putting a ring on somebody's finger. He can just live that all the way to the end of his life if he wants to. Okay? Because that money's going to take him far, as long as he has it. But a women need more than that, man. They need, not only do they need somebody to love them, they want everybody to know they're being loved. That's why they post all these pictures of these guys they with on like Instagram and TikTok and all this other stuff, right? I'm talking about the ones that's actually in a relationship they want to be in. I'm talking about those women. They posting that. You know, they bragging about these men that they with. And they want everybody to know that they're happy. They got a family going on. This is what they want. This is what they truly want. Money, yeah, sure. They can go out there and spend it and think they're happy. But in the end, I believe after a period of time, if a woman's rich and she hitting her maybe 40s or 50s and possibly 60s and they're alone, they would probably give up all that fortune just to have somebody to love. Because that money only can take you so far. It's not going to fulfill anything. And there's a lot of miserable rich women out there. They want love. That money don't do. That's why they be just giving away that money to charity all the time. Every time you turn around, they giving money away. And look at, for example, Angelina Jolie, man, and Brad Pitt. Now, don't get me wrong. He deserved every drop of what she's doing to him because he decided to marry one of these celebrities, and he agreed with everything she used to say. And now that she's attacking him, he got an issue with it. So he deserved every drop of what he's getting, in my opinion, okay? But the reason why I brought her up is she can't let that guy go. She can't let him go, man. Every time he's trying to get away from her, man, she making more and more problems for him. Because she's not happy. She's angry because their marriage ended. This is what I believe. And now she want to just drag it on. What they've been doing this for like 8 years now. And he just want to get away from her. And that's most men. When it's over for us. We want to leave, okay? If I can't have sex with you anymore, if I can't get those privileges or those perks from you anymore, I'm done with you pretty much. I want to move on to the next one. Or just go on with my life. But women, on the other hand, a lot of times, especially when they really used to be in love with you, man, they don't want to let it go. They want to keep dragging things on constantly. And, you know, Angelina Jolie is still attractive. I'm sure with her crazy tail stuff, she can find another man. But she won't do it. She just want to drag Brad Pitt through the broken glass, basically. And just keep hurting him. She like Khan from Star Trek, man. I just want to keep on hurting you. That's what it feels like. This is my opinion. I don't have facts to back that up, but this is my opinion, okay? But they just don't want to let it go. The point I'm just making is money is great. They love money, but at the same time, they don't want to be alone.
To grow old by yourself, I don't think that is something that anyone wants. Mm-mm. I definitely don't want it. But that means that I have to change my life because I never imagined that I would be in this current phase of my life that I am in right now. I am so focused on my career and business and growing and evolving, but does it mean that much if I'm doing it by myself?
Yeah, she probably, I don't know this woman. This is the first time I was saying her. She might be successful in what she's doing. Very intelligent woman. I have no reason to believe that this woman isn't successful and smart. So far from seeing her, the way she's talking, the way she's acting, she seemed like she would make a decent wife. But then there's always that question. Why didn't she get married earlier then? What's the problem? And so far, she really not talking about exactly what the problem is. What she did to make this happen. Now she's about probably to get into mistakes she made, about probably the guy that she dealt with. Somehow I get the feeling she's gonna make it seem like it was external things that kept her from being married instead of actually looking deep within herself is the reason why she's not married. I'm hoping that she does look deep, you know, because like I said, I watched a little bit at the beginning just to get the gist of what was going on with this video, but I'm not exactly sure where she's gonna take this. Okay, so let's continue.
I find myself asking those type of questions a lot more lately. Even though I am alone, I am not lonely, but I do envision my future to be different. But some things are out of my control. For example, a partner. I would love to be married in the future, but that's out of my control. But I do recognize and realize that maybe I need to put myself in different environments because I am someone who is outside. I am going to work. I am going to the gym. And I believe that whenever you go outside of your house, there's a chance of you meeting someone.
Of course. I mean, that don't make a lot of sense. Of course. You can walk outside your door and bump into somebody. Of course. This is the thing. Back in the day, women used to be arranged marriages, okay? I know a lot of modern women don't want to hear about that. They don't want nothing like that to do with their life. But at least they gain a family from it. And I don't care how the life they live been. I don't care if they like their husband or if the children's bad or whatever. In the end, at least they had a family. You know, and if she had somebody like a father that was able to set her up with a husband, I think she'd be in a better situation, you know? And she's thinking that, you know, working hard and going to the gym is going to guarantee her a husband. It's not. It's going to guarantee her a bed buddy. Guaranteed. It ain't too many men on this planet would turn her down if that was the case. If they can just hook up with her every week, every 2 weeks, or whatever situation is, they will definitely do this woman. Definitely. She has no problem in the looks department. None. But making her a long-term partner, that's a whole different story. And men got to watch out, especially the kind of men she probably want, because she sounds like she's one of those boss babes. I like to work, make my own money type stuff. So she's going to want a man that makes money. That's probably the reason why she's still single. And he's not going to want somebody that God knows what she's been doing all this time, because there's always that question. Okay, it's sort of like a job application. Okay, it's like, you know how you turn in the application to a boss and there's that empty space, and they like, okay, so what would you been doing since 2019 to 2022? Why isn't that filled out? What have you been doing all that time? And they like, you know, and then most likely you won't get the job because you gave them some bull crap story, or basically you told them you were doing nothing all that time. So it's not good on the application of a job. And men gonna always want to know what you've been doing since you hit 18. Okay, so you hit 18, you're a beautiful woman, well spoken, seem like you're very intelligent, all the way up to 35, 36 years old. What have you been doing all that time? And it's going to cross that man's mind. What happened to all that empty space? And so he gonna be on the offensive at that point. Then he gonna string you along for years to find out there's something there, man, that I'm missing. This is the smart man, especially a man that's successful. He gonna string you along for a while just to see what the problem is. And a lot of the times he find out because a woman who's faking it can't fake it for that long. If she'd been doing crazy junk in her past, and now she want to act like she just want to be a wife and a mother and all this kind of stuff, and just have a nice, quiet, successful life, the man gonna want to know what happened between that time. This is application time here. I want to know what happened between 18 and 35. What have you been doing all this freaking time? And why you got 2 cats? I mean, it's just questionable. And you thinking in your mind, I could definitely marry a woman like this, but I don't want to risk things that I work for. And that's what makes me hesitant when it comes down to marriage. Because they look, if it was guaranteed they was going to get a good wife, I bet you $1 billion a lot of men would get married. It ain't the fact that we afraid of commitment. That's not the problem. We're afraid of what might happen if we chose the wrong woman. That's the problem. And so you be afraid, like, oh, what the crap, man? I married a nut. Like Angelina Jolie right now, Brad Pitt got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Look, don't get me wrong. The reason why I say Brad Pitt deserved all that, because I think he's a little wacky himself, okay? Don't get me wrong. But at least he just want to just take his losses and leave, but she won't let him go. She want to keep on dragging the past out. But anyway, yeah, most men probably look at her and be like, yeah, I could make this woman my wife, but there's some time that I don't know about. You know, if she was like, let's say it was 18 and she was 24, and the man don't know about that time, that's something more acceptable. Okay, she's beautiful, she's smart. I don't know what happened between the time she was 18 and 24. Now, it's possible she could have been sleeping around a little bit, but probably not that many men. I'm sure during that time she might have hit a relationship or something, right? So it's not that bad. Maybe this is something that I can just, change in her. She can become a wife, mother, and all these things, right? But when you from 18 to freaking 36, man, I'm like, what the freak? And you're beautiful. Ain't no way in the world that you haven't been talking to men. That you just been sitting on your tail doing nothing. Something happened between. That's some lost time there. We want to know about, okay? And that's why if a man look, ladies, if you're 36 years old and you're beautiful and you're on a date and a man asks you a ton of questions, that's the reason why he asking you a ton of questions. He's trying to find out what the freak happened with that dead time. What happened? Okay? So just in case, if you're on a date and the guy asks you tons of questions, he's trying to find out what's the deal. Definitely, I would do that.
You go to the grocery store, whether you go to the gas station, whether you go shopping, to the supermarket, those are moments that you can meet someone.
Now, see, you hear that? She's talking about, basically she's talking with a lot of these women who like dating coaches. They're telling you where to go to meet these kind of men. What kind of men she's talking about? We all know, successful men, okay? Now, she's not bringing it internal. She's not making it about herself. Obviously, this is not a video about her mistakes. I mean, the kind of mistakes she's talking about she made is she went to the wrong places. Okay? That's not it. Okay? All the places you've been to is always a potential for finding a decent husband. I mean, look, even if you go to a club, there's decent men that go to clubs. Okay? I mean, like, that ain't the problem. That's not the problem. Look. If you're crazy looking and you act like a nut or whatever, yeah, of course. But you're a beautiful woman. You don't seem like you're nuts. So obviously you could have gotten somebody. But something tells me that with all the opportunities that you had, you kind of sidestepped, dumped the man, or some situation where you turned the man down. And you kept on going out there doing your thing and having fun. Now, if I did some research on this woman, like go to her Instagram or TikTok or whatever, I might find that answer. But I really have no interest in doing that. But like I say, there's some dead space there, man. Some dead space that I have no clue about. I'm pretending like I just met this woman because this is the first time I came across her. So that right there, I'm not even trying to date her. So I'm curious about what the freak was she doing all this time. Okay, that's on my mind. I'm looking at her and thinking she's a very beautiful. Like I said, man, she could have been a model. She might have been. She might be famous, all I know. But like, how you still single?
Going to the same spots for the longest, and I have never met anyone. So maybe I should change my environment. I don't know why I've never done it. Maybe because it's just familiar, and I hope and think that maybe I will run into someone, but it hasn't.
I wonder if she was going to these parties with rich men, like NBA players and all this kind of stuff, right? Now all of a sudden, now she just want a nice little banker. You know that it's a TikToker that was saying, I want a man with finance and such or whatever. That seems to be a popular thing, right? And she's telling the truth. This is what they want. They want a guy with money. If they can't get the NBA player, they want the CEO. If they can't get the CEO, they want some kind of finance geek or something like that, right? They want something that's going to represent what they think they are. They want some guy with money so can maintain that look. I really wish he got rid of that long hair, man, because I'm thinking that it just don't look good to me. I think she would look a lot better with a shorter cut, especially at her age at this point. I think that would be better. I used to see a lot of women, especially white women, they would cut their hair short when they start getting older because I guess they get tired of maintaining it, so they cut it short. But something about black women, man, they like just want to add extra hair to themselves. You know, that seems to be a thing when it comes to black women. Their hair is very important to them. And so they seem like they want to add more than they need to. Okay, it don't need to be that freaking long, man. You know, it just doesn't. I ain't saying it look terrible. It's just not necessary. But either case, man, she trying to make it seem like it's the places that I've been to is the mistake. No, that's not the mistake. The mistake is something you doing wrong. You. I don't care how attractive you are. I don't care how talented you are. And that's man or women. If you're still not with somebody, you are making mistakes. I gotta own up to my own mistakes about relationships and things of that sort. There was ample time that I could have got married. I'm not married now. I'm older, you know. And like I say, I have to examine myself to see what I'm doing and why I'm not getting married or having that serious relationship. Can't blame anybody else. I mean, it's easy to do that. And it's easy to say, well, I just been going to the club. Maybe I should go to, you know, a fundraiser instead and meet men or meet women or whatever. Easy to say that, but you still you. Well, how's that saying go? When you go on vacation to get away from it all, you don't get away from yourself. You still you wherever you go. So it's not all about where you're going. I mean, that could play a little role, but it's also about what you doing personally inside. That's something you need to examine.
Hasn't happened yet, and I have been single for quite some time. So that is something that I truly have to reconsider. If I want a different outcome, then I have to do different things. It's like Einstein said, you can't do the same things and expect a different outcome.
You know, I'm not going to totally disagree with her. I'm just saying that I think it's more than her just where she going. Okay, it's a lot more than that. I would love to talk to this woman. If any of y'all out there know who this woman is and y'all able to contact her, tell her I would love to talk to her about this. I'm very curious to see how she thinks, okay? And it will be a serious conversation. This is probably the first time I ever said something like this, right? That I actually loved. I did a lot of reactions to a lot of these women talking, but I never really reached out to find out if they would talk to me about this. I would love to. If you able to talk to this woman, definitely refer her to my channel and tell her to watch this video. I would love to talk to her. Love to. But either case, she, like I said, she's a beautiful woman. She seems intelligent. I love the way she talked. Okay, this is the kind of black woman most black men would want to be with. Then is that question, what's the problem? Still that question, what happened? Why aren't she married? Why has she been single for such a long time? Why does she got 2 cats? Still don't understand the 2 cat thing, but you know, 1 cat, yeah, but 2. But like I say, I can't and I won't say anything bad about this woman. Either case, I don't know what she's been through. Maybe she's been through some really terrible situations. Maybe, like I said, but it all comes down to her choices. A lot of women, I saw in a clip that a woman literally married a guy that came freshly out of prison. It's like, come on, ladies. Come on. Bad baby getting thumped by her man and then she gets right back with him. It's almost like it's like a drug to them. They love the drama. And I wonder if she the one the type to love the drama. Because this is the problem. Let's just say, for example, let's just say that she's been picking crazy type men, okay? Guy that pump and dump, harmed her in some way or whatever, right? And this is like embedded in her after all these years. And then finally she get with this financier, right? And these guys are usually considered boring. You know, they really into their work. They like making money and things of that sort. So they probably don't spend a lot of time with their wives or whatever, right? So she get bored. She want drama. She'll cause it. She'll cause issues. And then they'll go at it. They'll fight. And then she'll divorce his tail and take half his money. She got the kid and she got the money. She experienced the married life. She sees that it really ain't all she thought it was. And now she's back on the street again. This is what usually happens, man. When a woman's been this long not married and they think marriage is going to somehow make them happy, and then they finally find it, and then they come to the point where, shoot, I had more fun on the streets meeting different men. So I'm going to go ahead and ruin my marriage and go right back out there. And plus, I'm going to hurt him in the process. That's the problem. This is what men think. Especially if you've been not married for this long. They're going to think maybe at some point you're going to want revenge. And to bring up the Angelina Jolie situation, I'm wondering if something happened to her in the past. The dealing she had with men is the reason why she's trying to make Brad Pitt pay for that. And that's what men fear the most. They see stuff like that on TV, hear about men going through these things, and that would keep them from wanting to be married.
So I have to take responsibility when it comes to that in my life, and make sure that I do things differently. If you desire a different outcome. Now, I know for a fact that I don't want to be in an elderly house with my girlfriends.
Before I let her continue, this is the thing. Let's take a basketball player, right? Let's say he's a jackass, all right? He's a jerk. Do you think he's going to go to strip clubs? He's going to go to clubs. But do you think he's not going to go to fundraisers too? Or he's going to go to a festival or something? Jerks go everywhere, just like everybody else. So it really don't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's who you picking. That's the problem. Now, I get it. If I decide not to go to a club because of other reasons, the women, but also the dangers there too. You know, the drama and all the other things going on. So it's a big reason why I wouldn't want to go to a club to find myself a mate. But when I go to these other places, they're supposed to be nice. I know I'm still running into a lot of these women because a lot of these women go to church. And I'm a Christian, man. So if I go to church, do I think I'm gonna meet all these innocent angels in church? No, because I know a lot of these women that go to clubs, they go to church the next day. Okay, so that I understand you're not wanting to go to those places because personally, I don't think women should go places like that at night because I think it's dangerous, especially nowadays. I think those are the reasons why you shouldn't go to those places. But I think you should just, start looking for a certain type of man do you think that's going to be honorable and take care of you. I think you should just change your taste if you are able to.
Well, I am going to work my ass off to change my environment, even if it's just going to a different gym location. I got a membership which allows me to go to different locations, yet I always go to the same 2 locations. I'm not sure if I want to meet someone at the gym or not, but it's a start, or maybe even completely changing my gym membership.
But like I said, her saying this is just telling me it's the men's fault. It's the kind of men at these places that she's meeting. Like it's impossible for a decent dude to be at these gyms or at the club or something like that, right? Decent men are everywhere. They probably don't hang out at clubs a lot, but that doesn't mean they don't go or they don't go to bars or anything like that. They got to start somewhere, okay? Like I say, I think her problem is something else. And I can't tell you what it is because she don't talk about it. She's basically talking about location. It's the places that I'm meeting these men. That might be the reason why I'm not married. And there's a bigger issue than that. And I wish she talked more about it, but I'm getting the feeling that she's just going to keep saying is location, location, location. And I think that's might be some of the reason, but I don't think it's all of the reason. I think it's more to it. And I think it has something to do with her. And I'm not bashing her. I'm not saying anything bad about her. We're talking about choices here. We're talking about the kind of choices that you make for yourself. And when you're in a situation, you can't blame anybody else, especially when you're because you're the one to deal with all of this. You know, it ain't like people making decisions. Now, I understand if you like was in an arranged marriage and your father forced you to marry a jerk, you then probably can sit back and blame your father for the rest of your life or whatever the situation is. But you made all these decisions. All these decisions that you made is what you're talking about, but you're not really saying it. And if you make this video to help women, I think you should give them the full story. If that's your purpose. I mean, you don't have to talk about your personal life. That's up to you. But I'm just saying, if that's the reason why you're making this video and you feel like you want to help women, maybe you should give more. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's just location. I think it's more. Like I say, I'm not bashing this woman. Please don't look for her to bash her or anything like that. I don't want anything like that to happen. You know, she haven't said anything offensive. She haven't done anything, to my knowledge, offensive. She haven't badmouthed men, you know, directly. You know, I'm just saying that I think she just should look deeper than just location. That's all I'm saying. She seemed like a very decent person. I have nothing against her, okay? All right, now I'm not going to finish this video. I was hoping, like I said, she was going to go deeper than that, but she didn't. If you want to see the full video, I'm going to leave the link below, and that way you can follow her. I try to, you know, whoever videos I react to, whether I like them or not, I always try to leave a link to whatever reactions I do, because that's just courteous and respectful to do. Hopefully, God willing, she'll find the Lord, and then she'll find herself what she wants, a husband and children. And I'm hoping that she really, really wants this. I really do, because if she gets herself in a situation where she realizes this is not what she wanted, there's a lot of people that can be hurt through this, including her. Okay? All right, I really appreciate all of you coming by. Thanks again. This is T, and peace.